Hi guys, it's your friend Ballistic B, and today we're continuing to review the Hobby Park RC workstand. All right, now that we're done bashing the RC and we've played a little Warzone, it's time to show you the fully assembled Hobby Park workstand in action. So we've assembled the rotational lift and we've mounted it to the chassis support and base. And then of course we've glued on the cushions on the top and the bottom. And then of course our magnetic part holder here at the very bottom. And the rotational lift now will work. And as we use our Allen wrench to loosen up one of the Allen nuts, we can allow it to rotate in a counterclockwise position to elevate and raise up the work surface, or clockwise to lower it down, and then tighten the nut back up if we want to be able to tighten up the chassis support, make it rigid, such that we have obviously very little travel. And without this, obviously quite a bit. So this really helps out a lot, creates a lot of stability here. Now, when we're talking about stability, the other thing that I'd mention is if we push really hard laterally, we do get a little play down here with the base. The base is not really heavy and it is not long enough. It's about an inch on either side, too short. So I would say if it's about 2 inches longer here and on the other side, it's going to be about right. But the biggest issue is probably the width of the chassis support. It is really wide. This is a 1/10 scale RC truck, and you can see that the bottom of the chassis here actually won't fit properly. It just gets at the edges of the padding here, and when it slides off, it kind of cavitates down to one side or another. So this would be perfect, I think, maybe for a 1/8 size chassis or a very small one that can fit almost completely in there. But for the most popular size chassis, a 1/10, it really doesn't fit extremely well. So when we're talking about the base being a little narrow, the chassis support being built really either for a very small RC or a much larger 1/8 scale RC, the other thing that you may notice when we are playing around with it a little bit, we're loosening it up so that we can raise it up or down. Quite a bit of squeaking and noise coming from the screw in the rotational lift. So what we're going to have to do is add a little super lube in there. Get a little fully synthetic multi-purpose super lube in there to grease things up, quiet things down, because it does get on your nerves after a while, especially if you're trying to do a video like this for your viewers. I'm sure it is very unsettling, and especially for you working on it, it will wear on your nerves. But I think a little of the super lube is going to do a great job taking care of that. It's also going to, of course, create less friction when we put the super lube in there, which is going to extend the life and help out with it as well. One of the final things that I would mention about it that is a little bit of a con is the width of the magnetic strip. As you can see here, it doesn't look like it was made for this particular piece of kit. When they decided to create this, the manufacturer, I think, just got a random spare part from whoever their supplier was. This could be a lot wider and a lot longer and be a true magnetic tray that would hold a lot more parts, work a lot better. It wouldn't have cost them much more money. That's a little bit of an oversight. But I think the measurements here for the chassis support are the bigger issue. Stability-wise, you're in a really good spot. As far as all the things it offers quite a bit. Ultimately, I think for me, guys, this is 3.5 out of 5 stars. I mean, it looks great. It functions great. You can raise it up so the work surface is closer to you, which is going to prevent some back strengths. You won't have to lean forward to get to all the different things that you're going to be repairing. But then it's also got one more advantage when we're talking about working on RCs, because the other clever little trick is using the tire as a jack stand, and you can't really rotate things around. You can't get under here to the suspension to work on it very well. It's obviously, if your tires especially have been mudding it or dirty, it's not going to keep any of the components particularly clean. And then it's a lot lower, and you notice the difference in height here between A and B, a lot different, a lot closer to you. And again, a lot of different color variations, including this beautiful metal fleck blue color, which as I rubbed alcohol on it, gave absolutely no paint. I was getting nothing on the rag as I was pulling it back. So clearly painted well, maybe even has a protective coating on it, which may help with the life. And a little scratch resistance, I would imagine, over time. So between looking good and overall functioning pretty well, I think that this thing is going to be a great purchase. Definitely 3.5 stars out of 5. All right, guys, that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe, and make sure to turn those notifications on. That lets you know about all the cool new stuff that we're doing, so you can check that out as well. And don't forget to tell your friends, tell the folks that you know that love RCs, that love gaming, all the other things that we do about our channel. Because if you bring them in, we get more subscribers. It'll help us to continue doing the great things that we do.
All right, guys, I'm out. Be safe, be fun, and believe.